Hey YouTube, Mark Kaufman here, and today's video actually comes from a man who goes by on YouTube Mal R, and that's M-A-L-R. And I'm going to put his channel in the description. He doesn't have any subscribers as far as I can see, but he gave me this idea, and I may have already covered it, but I'm going to cover it again because he lives in the UK, and he cannot carry a locking knife, and it has to be under 3 inches. That's what he's told me. And what he wanted out of a video was that it not be a traditional slip joint like what you would see your grandfather carrying, aka a tidioot or a case knife, or anything like that. So I have laid out a few knives that would fit this genre that he is looking for. And I think this may show him a few options that he could look at, and maybe even something you might want. If you live in a place where they have restrictive knife laws, maybe something here would catch your fancy. And I'm not going in any order here, but first I'm going to start with this one. Now, this is right at 3 inches, but this is the Imperial 22L, and I've sharpened this one, and it has a very slight micro bevel. This is 7CR steel, which it's not very soft, but it's a good working steel. I think 7CR is definitely knocked and bashed for how soft it is, but I'll tell you, sometimes you need a soft steel, something that strops up very easily, something that is going to be able to take a beating. And this is one that I think is a worthy knife because it's cheap. I think I picked this one up for $7 or $8, and it's basically a sod buster, but made by Schrade Imperial. And this isn't a USA knife, this is made in China, but for the money, it's a great worker's knife, and it's a great knife that will perform and do the job well. I will tell you, I've owned a few of these. This one has no blade play at all, but you can have a hit or miss on the spring tension. This one's fine, it's not crazy great, but I will tell you, on one that I had, it was a bear to get open. I mean, it was probably a 9 on the pull and probably a 7 on the close. I mean, it was to the point where it was uncomfortable to open. But let's say you don't want an exactly 3-inch knife. Of course, you could shave down the blade to fit those laws and reshape it. But let's say you just want this. This is I think this is the Spyderco Grasshopper. I can't remember, but now correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. But I'm not sure if this is the model number. I think that is actually the steel, 12C27, because the same is on, let me see. No, now this is a 1428, but 14C27, to my recollection, is a Swedish steel. If this is the 8CR MOV steel that's usually in the Tenacious and stuff, correct me, that may be the model number, but this is the Spyderco, I think it's the Grasshopper, and this is a very compact little knife, great for if you have to peel some apples, if you need to just cut up your fruit, if you need to cut open a package. And we're looking at a very compact size here. Let me go and zero this out. We are looking at a blade that is exactly 52 millimeters. So very compact, very durable, not the strongest of springs, but you don't need a strong spring on something like this. But you have that all steel construction, so very stain resistant. And if you are wondering, yes, with practice you can open it one-handed, but if you're not accustomed to it, it is a little bit of a trick. So you may be safe there if you can't have one-handed opening slip joint knives. Now, excuse me, let's look at the CRKT Pilar from Heine Haynes. Now this particular one, I have upgraded the washers, so the action on this is a little bit better and a little more stiff. But this here is a fantastic knife. If you are able to carry this, if I lived in Europe and I had to have a budget knife that had to be a slip joint, I would probably carry something like this. Fantastic little blade. I will tell you this, the 8CR on it does rust. I've seen some horror stories with CRKT's 8CR. I keep all my knives in a container that has a dehumidifier in it. So it keeps the humidity down, and if I have any stainless steels that may rust, or carbon steels that are prone to rusting, I don't have to worry about it as much. So, but that's a great knife to carry. But let's say you want some tools, okay? Let's say you want a nice compact knife like the Grasshopper, but you want some tools. Go with the Cadet. I think the Cadet is an absolutely fantastic knife, excuse me, that does have a blade that's under 3 inches, which will fit those laws. You get a small screwdriver and can opener, and you get a wire stripper, larger screwdriver and bottle opener, and you also get a nail file and a nail care tip here. So that's a great thing to have. And I think nobody would bat an eye if you carried this if you were in Europe. I definitely did, and I had no problems. Excuse me. Then we have the Pioneer X. If you want something a little more heavy duty, Pioneer X is the way to go. If I couldn't have this, I would probably immediately go to this. I wouldn't even go with any of these because this has a lot more use than this does, but I feel like this has great action, has a cool look, it's going to be durable, it's easy to sharpen, it fits the bill. But here we have a blade, we have the screwdriver, small, big screwdriver, we have can opener and bottle opener, but we also have on this one, if I can figure out where the nail nick is, we have the large set of scissors. That's fantastic. And then you also get your awl or reamer. And this is fantastic to have. It can be used to do a lot of different things. But let's say you want to just have a high-tech knife. Let's say you want to have a knife that is high-tech, good materials. I would go with the Trailblazer then. The Trailblazer, and boy, this one has a good spring. Really good spring. I mean, you can see that my thumb is putting in some work there. Let's see there. You see? It's got a good one. And it's laser thin stock on this. And it's a fantastic knife, and this does fit into that 3-inch knife requirement. So that would be a great knife to pick up, and that's the Civivi Trailblazer, and I really enjoy carrying this one. And the Stonewash hides a lot of sins, so that's another really good thing. But the most expensive one I have here is the MKM Root. And this one here is fantastic. I have added a sharpening choil for my own use. Does not come with that. So, and somebody was asking for a closer up on my sharpening choil. So there you go. Looks very factory almost. And this is a fantastic knife. Half stop, nice close. Spring's not as tense as this one, but it will keep it from closing on you if you're using it right. But I feel like this is definitely a great gentleman's carry and a knife that could probably impress a lot of people if you pulled it out. The one thing that I love about it is it has M390 steel, and it's made by, designed by Jens Anzo. And the factory that makes this is Makita from Italy. So that is another knife that fits into those laws. But I mean, you can find a lot of different knives that are not like your grandparents' knives. They have modern materials, modern steels. They may be completely rust-proof. They may be luxurious. They may be able to take a beating. You know, there's a lot of different options out there. And I have talked to quite a few people that live in Europe, and they really are buggered by the fact they can't have something with a liner and, not a liner, but something that they can have that's under 3 inches, but has a liner lock. They can't carry something like that. So, I mean, this would fit the law, but it's locking. So, I mean, that's a real bummer. And it's unfortunate, but you still have plenty of options. So don't fret. There's great knives out there for you, and you can always have those really nice and impressive locking knives in the home. You just can't carry them. But if you want something that you can carry and use, these are a few good options for you. And Mal R, if you are satisfied with this video, let me know in the comments. I really enjoyed talking with you. So thank you guys so much. And here's another knife I just forgot about, but I have it on my desk. And this has no maker. It's an AliExpress special, but I keep this in my coin pocket. It's supposed to look like a Serge Ponchenko, I think is his name. But this is a little slip joint that I carry, and it has a detent type of lock, and it's wonderful for opening packages. Nothing really else. So that's just another option, but this does look a little underwhelming, I would say. But if I can do it here, well, I haven't carried it in a while, but this is something you could definitely open one-handed if you get good enough at it, especially if you add a lanyard. But this is a little off point. I'm pretty sure none of you would want to carry this versus something this nice. But these are just a few options that you can have if you have restrictive knife laws. At this point, I'm babbling. There are a few knives that I didn't include in this because they exceed the 3-inch parameters, like this Rough Rider that I did a video on. This is a great knife, especially at $10, but it exceeds the 3-inch law. And so I didn't include it in the video. But if you guys have other suggestions for knives that fit these 3-inch knife laws and their slip joint, put them in the comment section below. I really enjoyed picking these out of my collection. These are just a few, but I have so many others that would have fit this. But at this point, I'm really babbling on, and I need to say goodbye. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this short video. I hope you enjoyed looking at a few UK legal knives, and if you saw something you'd like to pick up here, go and do it. They're out there. All of these are still available. They are not discontinued models. So just go on out there, search in the model number or the name, and you'll find it. So thank you guys so much again. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you may be.